If you do cut yourself, keep calm. Immediately you would grab a towel and hang on to the area that's cut and keep the pressure on it. Tell a classmate or tell the chef that you need to go down to the nurse's office. Also, you need to make sure if any got on food, that gets thrown away, or if the surface is dirty with any blood, it needs to be cleaned. When the knife has blood on it, it's contaminated, and it needs to be cleaned separately in another sink with warm soap and water. If they do have a bleach solution, they can spray on that and then wash it again. Whether you're 5 minutes from service, it needs to be taken care of before you serve anybody. This is a laceration of his finger, index finger. And when any of the students get cut in class, they need to grab a towel before they come down so they're not dripping blood on the way down here. Most of the times it's just carelessness, or someone will bump into them. Or if they're holding like a carrot that's hard, the knife, the carrot slips and the knife cuts them. Most of the time it's small cuts that we can put steri-strips on. And if they've taken a good sized chunk of their finger off, that's something that's hard for us to stop the bleeding. Then we put a pressure bandage on it and send them down to the emergency room. Sometimes they're cutting a bagel or something the wrong way and they'll slice open their hand. That has happened several times. We just apply the pressure bandage, wrap them up, and they go down to the emergency room. Well, a good plan, if you don't have a doctor on site, they should know where the nearest emergency room is. They should also have their first aid kit well equipped with a cleaning solution like peroxide, pressure bandages, some antibiotic ointment to take care of it. And also make sure, they have the rubber gloves when they're handling food. If they have any type of dressing on their hand, they should wear rubber gloves. You can't be serving people, with a bloody Band-Aid. It needs to be washed and cleaned and proper dressing on it, and then with gloves. Just use common sense when you've cut yourself and do the steps: pressure, elevate, and seek help.
Attention to sanitation guidelines is mandatory in the kitchen. Your knives are no exception. They must be cleaned and sanitized just like other pots and pans and utensils in a 3-gang sink using hot water and soap. Being sharp, you cannot leave them out to dry like other items. Do not clean knives in a dishwasher. Also, be aware of cross-contamination. It seems obvious when it's a surface like a cutting board, but your knife will carry the same contaminants from food to food. If an accident does happen, extra care should be taken to clean and sterilize the knife, but not in the sink used by the rest of the kitchen. This is important. With all levels of precaution, this would require the draining, cleaning, and refilling of the sinks. Not very efficient. Remember, use common sense when cleaning your knives and clean them often.
do's and don'ts of knife care.
Don't use a dull knife to cut your product.
A sharp knife uses less force. Sharpen and steel when needed.
Don't grab just any knife for the job.
With the right knife, efficiency rules.
Don't sharpen on anything that's not intended for that purpose.
Using the proper stone and steel prolongs the life of your knife.
Don't lose focus on what you're cutting.
Loss of concentration can lead to unwanted accidents.
Whoa, that's going to leave a mark.
Don't use your knife on anything but food.
They're the tools of your trade. Treat them with respect.
Don't walk with your knife waving in the breeze.
Always walk with the knife at your side, tip pointing down.
Don't expose your knife's edge to an inappropriate surface.
Constant abuse will lessen the life of your knife.
Don't hone your knife just anywhere.
Turn away from your work area and wipe your knife when complete.
Don't reach for a knife anywhere you can't see it.
Immediately clean and sanitize your knife.
Don't pass off your knife carelessly.
Pass the knife handle first or place it down for pickup.
Don't try to catch a falling knife.
Do I need to elaborate on this subject?
No, that's a sharp knife.
Don't move abruptly when holding your knife.
Always be aware of your surroundings and use common sense.
Don't cut on just any surface.
A moistened towel under your sanitized butcher block will do the trick.
Don't run a finger or other body part lengthwise to check for dullness.
Gently rub your finger across the blade to check for sharpness.
Those were the do's and don'ts of knife care.
Got it? Good. Cut.
Learning knife skills is not much different than learning to write your name. At first, you had to concentrate on holding the pencil and shaping each individual letter. As you continued to practice, writing your name became an automatic activity, something occasionally described as deep knowledge. Today, when you sign a document, you don't think about how you are holding your writing instrument, nor do you consciously shape each letter. Although penmanship is taught in the same way at the same time to a whole class of students, each individual has a unique signature. So too, will you learn how to hold your knife and perform cuts in a way that suits your physiology, temperament, and working style. As with writing, your primary goal is to be as accurate and precise as possible, even if you aren't working at lightning speed. Eventually, you should acquire both accuracy and speed, but it's not expected that you will have both as you start out. By concentrating on accuracy at first and not worrying about speed, your deep knowledge of making the various cuts will lead naturally to increased confidence. In time, you truly develop a signature set of knife skills.